Hi guys, I'm sorry about before. My batteries died right in the middle of talking, and it was freezing out there anyway, and it's freezing tonight here. I don't know why. Uh, where I left off was and I don't smoke all day long. It just so happens I smoke when I do these videos because you guys see me with a cigarette every time I do this. I'm not a chain smoker now. Uh, Right, she gave me the drinks and I finished them and she told me to wait. So, I'm sitting waiting. They call me in for the CAT scan. She runs an IV, saline, and I'm taken in for my CAT scan pictures. Puts me on the table. And I've had contrast before in my life, but I never had a reaction like this. Nurse comes in, injects me with the contrast. All of a sudden, my throat starts burning on fire. My throat starts closing. I get this warm, hot sensation down between my legs where I actually thought I was urinating. Sierra, please don't knock my camera over. I thought I was urinating, and she assured me no, I was not. Oh God, my cat. Hold on. Here, Sierra, come here. There's Sierra. Okay? You want to look in the camera? Okay. Oh God, Jesus. Alright, go, go, go. Got it, girl. Uh, my heart starts racing. Uh, and I feel like I'm gonna pass out. I said to the technician, um, this is what happens when the cat gets in my face. I said to the technician, how long is this gonna last? He says, oh, about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm saying, oh, that's great. I not only feel like I'm urinating myself, my throat is closing, I'm gonna pass out, I'm gonna die on this table, but 3 or 4 minutes and you'll be fine. Uh, that's over. He helps me off the table. I'm very, very lightheaded. He told me that would be a normal reaction. Um, I just didn't want to sit in there anymore. The day was over. I had had enough. I just picked myself up, went to the waiting room, uh, and then I start shaking uncontrollably. My insides turned to like ice. It felt like someone shot ice through my veins. They had told me that prior to the test, but it slipped my mind. And no, Sierra. And I'm freezing cold and I'm shaking, and I go outside and I sit down, try to have a cigarette. I'm shaking so hard I can't even get the cigarette in my mouth. Which is all part, I guess, of the CAT scan, but I have never had a reaction like that to contrast. So, according to them, it was because I had so much dye and iodine in my system that I might have gotten a stronger reaction to everything. Uh, then my Sierra, please. Then my friend who works in New York, she came to see me. I was very happy to see her. I was not in a good state of mind, and it really helped to see a friend at that point. But there is part of this story that I have to backtrack a little bit. This happened before the CAT scan. Uh, and I don't really believe in all that freaky, creepy stuff. I mean, it's not that I don't believe in signs and signs from God and miracles and stuff, but I'm just not. Well, let's just put it to this way. I'll explain the story. Uh, Before I went in for the CAT scan, uh, I was standing outside the building. I had a little time to kill. A young man, to me, a young man, 30 is a young man, was walking by, and he said to my husband, "Do we happen to know where so and so street is?" He was looking for this specific church, and my husband said he was not familiar with New York City. He had this piece of loose leaf paper in his hand, and there were all different churches and places written on it, and he apparently had been checking them off as he was going along. He said he was looking for this last church, and on the list it looked like he was down to the last place because everything was scratched off and checked off. And I guess churches, I heard up here they do the same. Churches have like food pantries for people when they have no food, run out of food. And this cat, he was getting very upset trying to find this church, and we of course had no idea where it was. And I was talking a little to him as we were going down the road, and I said to him, "Do you have no food at all?" And he said, "No, ma'am, I don't." And I really believed this young man. Just he wasn't looking for anything from me. He was honestly just looking for directions, and he actually had walked away from me, and I kind of caught up to him, and I asked him, "Do you have children?" And he said, "Yes, ma'am, I do, 3." And I said, "Do these children have anything to eat tonight?" And he said, "No, that's why I'm desperately trying to find a food pantry." Um, I, most of my life, and I'm sorry to say, it is who I am. It's not that I've never been generous in life. I am with my friends and my family, but I've never been a person to give money to strangers. Money, I think sometimes is the root of all evil. It can end relationships, friendships, families. It Either you have it, you don't. It's a big roadblock in a lot of people's lives, and it causes a lot of problems at times for people. Money is a bad subject. Uh, I've just never really been, and I don't really, again, want to make myself sound like I am not generous. I've been very generous in the past with with friends and years back, and it ended some friendships actually. You lend money and you don't get it back, and that's a whole bad taste in your mouth, and one thing leads to another. And I'm sure many of you have lent money in your life and not gotten it back, and the worst thing is to lend to a friend and then you don't get it back, because asking a friend for money back is probably the hardest thing imaginable. It's awkward, it's embarrassing, but not getting off track. Um, I don't know who was speaking for me, if there was like a hand in my neck making my mouth move, but out of my mouth came, "Do you need some money for your children to eat tonight?" Uh, and he looked at me, and his eyes like widened, and he said, "Are you serious?" And I said, "Yeah, your kids can't go without food." Uh, I went in my bag, I pulled out some money, and I gave it to him. Uh, Again, the look on his face, I think he was in disbelief that a strange woman on the street is actually handing him money. But I believed in this guy. I truly believe that he was down and out, and he thanked me over and over, and I just said, "You go ahead and take care of your kids, and then tomorrow, when these food banks open, you get yourself some food for your family," because by the look of it, he was at a dead end for that day. He wasn't getting anywhere. Uh, but meanwhile, while this is happening, behind me is a long type of brick um, ledge along the back there on 55th Street. It was a long brick ledge along, and there was nothing on it. There were flowers behind it. I had walked up and down smoking a cigarette. I looked at the ledge. It was just a brick ledge. There was nothing there. When I turned around, right behind me, directly behind me, when the man walked away with the money, there was a book sitting on the ledge. It was like a book just sitting there. It like came out of nowhere, a paperback book. And in fact, here it is. The cover is off of it. And it was just sitting there. And I'm saying, first of all, who would leave their book sitting here? And I'm thinking this over, and I'm saying, that book was not there. I just walked up along the street, up and down, smoking, talking to this young man. There was nothing there. It would have stood out right there. I wanted to pick the book up and take it, and then I said, well, it's not mine to take, and who could it belong to? And I walked a few feet away, and then I turned back and I said, maybe it's possible that this book is meant for me to take. I found it a little bit creepy, freaky, and with what I've been going through, I've been doing such things out of the norm in my life. The money thing yesterday, it is absolutely something I would never do in a million years. After I did it, actually, Laura and Bob kind of looked at me, probably thinking, where's Patty? Who is this imposter? And I actually felt good about it. I had no regrets, nothing. I felt what I did was the right thing to do, and I felt good about it. And like, here's for instance, my home right now. I'm trying to tell you some things about myself since my diagnosis. Things have changed with me. I'm a little neurotic at home. If some of you haven't noticed on Facebook over the past year, some of my postings, I have a little problem with cleanliness, and I like things in order, and then things get all messy. It makes me insane, and uh, maybe at times it would get extreme. Uh, and I'm honestly looking around. Uh, there's things all over my kitchen table right now. There's actually paper towels still in the bag, not taken out. Uh, a 6 pack of water, Coke cans, Gatorade bottles. I mean, all stuff that I'm supposed to be drinking. And my bedroom, it looks like 12 people had an orgy in it, and I can assure you 12 people did not have an orgy in it. Everything here, I'm looking around, is all over. It seems since the day I was diagnosed, everything in my world has gone to an extreme opposite. I understand that Bob and Laura are dealing with this, and he's not really being he's not really tidying up, and none of us are really tidying up, and the most that's really happening here is dishes being done, and food being made, and a little laundry here and there, but besides that, nothing. I dust, and no one's vacuumed, and nothing. And what I'm trying to say is this is completely out of the norm for me. And it's not bothering me. I really don't care. It's really truthfully not bothering me. So I don't know what's happening to me, if this is really good or bad. Uh, if maybe when things get better for me, I mean, I'll say if they get better for me, will this all come back to me the way I was, or is this now something that's permanent in my life? But to be honest with you, uh, I talked to another friend earlier on the phone in New York, and I had told her these things that were happening to me that were out of the ordinary, and I just not caring. It's not the kind of not caring, it's the kind of, I think I've taken many steps back now in life, and as another friend in New York has told me, her saying, don't sweat the small stuff. And I think I spent too much time in life with petty stuff, and making sure this is always done right and that is always done right. And I think this is good for me, actually. I think the maybe a little more laid back way, I think is very healthy. Um, like, here's an example. My cat keeps going back and forth under my face and nose, and I'm asthmatic. And I really don't like when she does this. And she's on my kitchen table right now as I'm speaking, and I don't like when she does that. I don't like that at all. I can't control her from the countertops. Cats do that, but not my kitchen table where I eat, and that's not bothering me either. So uh, cancer may be a horrible thing to have, uh, but it changes you in so many ways. It really makes you see, like I've said numerous times, the world in such a different perspective. And it, I think what I'm gonna get out of this in the long run, if I can beat this animal, I think it's something that's done better for me in the long run. I think that it's changed some things about me that may have needed to be changed. I think I'm gonna start eating healthier. Um, because I was also told by the nutrition lady at Sloan Kettering, once you have active cancer cells in your body, and if you beat it and you become cancer free, you have to be very, very careful for the rest of your life how you conduct your life. Stress levels are number one. People don't understand and believe that actually stress can cause cancer. Don't laugh if anyone is, because it's true. Nutrition, um, all the things that we do to our body um, are a big factor in cancer, and I wasn't aware of that. I'm learning new things every day, and I used to make, I have this addiction to chocolate. Everybody on Facebook knows I love chocolate. If I could swim in chocolate at night, I would bathe in chocolate. Uh, Dark chocolate is actually very good for you, but I don't like dark chocolate. So I ate a lot of fast food, smoked a lot of cigarettes, drank a lot of beer, drank a lot of soda. I was not a water drinker, ate whatever I wanted, did whatever I wanted. Believe me, that's not what gave me uterine cancer, don't get me wrong, but it's certainly a big factor now in my health. Yes, it is, because I have not been eating right for years, and it's gonna make a big difference in my recovery, um, and down the road when you have cancer, you get rid of cancer. Like I said, you are very, very high at risk then for it to occur again and repeat and find somewhere else to latch onto. So yeah, this is a complete life change for me all around. Doing everything differently. It's like I'm someone I don't even know. But believe it or not, I don't dislike how I am now. It's different for me. I don't realize half the things I'm doing. People are pointing it out to me, and I'm comfortable with it. So it's a terrible thing to say, but it's almost like I'm gonna have to look at this in a positive way. I got this evil thing inside of me, and God knows it's there, and He's gonna give me a chance, a second chance on the right road to get rid of this. And I don't want to say anything derogatory about the man upstairs, so I'm not saying it like that. It's this is kind of the way I look at things with life and death, and maybe some of you won't agree with me, but it's how I look at things. You're here, and you're given a life, and you're given all the tools in life to do what's best and to take care of yourself and to eat right and to treat people right, and it's your life to do whatever you please with. But if the man upstairs sees you're not really taking care of your life and the body that he's given you, and there's a lot of other people who would love to have it, and you know, some, maybe that's the wrong way of looking at things, but if you're not going to take care of yourself while you're here, do the right thing, treat people the right way, uh, he can easily take that from you. I'm not very religious, and I'm not, you know, saying anything. It's just my beliefs. When you don't do good, you don't get rewarded, and I'm hoping he gives me a second chance to prove that I'm not a bad person. I've just had a few curves in my life, and I've taken some wrong paths, and if this is a scare for me to get on the right path, though, it's working, because it's scaring the living shit out of me daily. So this is something I will never forget. I it's 12 o'clock, full moon. No, it's just important, and I kind of had the raps tonight talking about, you know, things in my life and the way I feel, and I'm just, you know, I'm not a preacher, and I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just telling you things how I feel, and I've taken a lot for granted in my life. Always. The sun rises and sets, and I know that happens every day as I take it for granted. Do I ever sit outside and look at the sunrise? No. Because I know it's going to do it if I'm not looking at it anyway. So if you're getting my point, people just shouldn't take everything for granted. Nothing in life should be taken for granted. And now I have 2 weeks left to wait for my surgery. I took the body scan yesterday, and yes, I'm a nervous wreck, because they could call any day and give me those results. They may not give me those results. They may say something on surgery day. I really don't know. That's a big factor in this for me, is not knowing where this animal is. Well, I mean, I know where he is. He's in my uterus, but as I've said online, did he bring his family, and are they sitting all over my house? I don't know. It's hard to just be that optimistic. My mother told me earlier, stop thinking of where he is and if he brought his pets and his aunts and uncles and whatever, and she said, please look at the statistics and the percentage, and please look at your doctor, listen to your doctor, and I'm trying. I really just can't wait till it's all over. I need to know where my next move is. Am I going to have surgery and that's it? Am I going to need radiation, chemotherapy? And if I do, I am prepared for that. Whatever it is, I just need it to get going. I've got to know where I'm going with my life. The waiting game is the worst thing imaginable. It's as bad as applying for a job and you're waiting for that phone call. My eating's gotten a little bit better today, and I did something that I shouldn't have done tonight, but it was one time, and I haven't done it in weeks and weeks. I actually had McDonald's. It didn't upset my stomach. Will it in the morning? I'm sure I will pay for it at 7 a.m. But it was nice going down. Uh, but that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to talk a little bit about the rest of my testing yesterday, the book, the guide, and just some things that have changed in my life over the past few weeks. And